5 people are dead in Kogi State following a reported reprisal attack in Abugi and surrounding communities, with the police now launching a full-scale investigation into the killings. The violence reportedly followed the killing of a herder in the community on Thursday, triggering a chain of retaliatory attacks that left several people dead and raised fresh concerns about the fragile security situation in parts of the state. The Kogi State Police Command says it has now restored calm to Abugi and neighboring communities.
So I want to seize this opportunity to ask for the cooperation of all and sundry in Kogi State so that we'll be able to deliver and make our society safer. And I want to emphasize that in collaboration with other sister agencies, we'll make sure there is proper synergy with all the stakeholders, the other security agencies, to make Kogi State safer and secure, because that is going to be our major asset, interagency cooperation. We will leave no stone unturned in making sure that all relevant security agencies and other support groups are encapsulated in all our policy framework towards making Kogi State safer and secure.
But the investigation is continuing as authorities move to identify those responsible for the deaths. So what happened in Abugi? What triggered the reprisal? And can the latest security investigation prevent another round of violence? According to the Kogi State Police Command, the crisis began after a herder was killed in the community on Thursday. Details surrounding that initial killing remain under investigation, but the incident was followed by what authorities describe as reprisal violence. No fewer than 5 people were killed during the subsequent attacks. The police have not released the identities of all the victims or provide a detailed account of how the killings occurred. But the command has moved quickly to prevent the situation from escalating further. The aerial command in Lokoja, working with other security and community stakeholders, held meetings with traditional rulers, community leaders, and other relevant parties in the affected communities. The purpose was not simply to restore immediate calm, but also to address the tensions that contributed to the violence. Police spokesperson Afosat Salisu said the engagements focus on reconciliation, peaceful coexistence, and addressing the underlying causes of the conflict.
The command is deeply committed to unraveling the circumstances surrounding the incident and to ensure that justice is served.
That intervention is significant because reprisal attacks can rapidly develop into cycles of retaliation. One killing can trigger another attack. That attack can generate another response. And before authorities are able to contain the situation, an isolated incident can turn into a wider communal conflict. That is precisely the situation security agencies appear determined to prevent in Abugi. The police have also commenced a full-scale investigation through the State Criminal Investigation Department. Investigators are expected to work to establish what happened before, during, and after the initial killing, and identify individuals who may have participated in the reprisal attacks. The police said efforts are already underway to identify, trace, and apprehend everyone found to have participated in or contributed to the killings. That wording is important because investigators are not only looking for those who may have directly carried out the attacks. Authorities could also examine whether other individuals provided support, information, transportation, weapons, or other assistance. Anyone found culpable, according to the police, will face the appropriate legal consequences. But there is another challenge facing the authorities. Restoring calm after violence is one thing. Keeping that calm in place is another. The police have therefore maintained a security presence in the affected communities. Personnel have been strategically deployed to prevent further attacks, protect residents, and respond quickly to any new threats. The command says normalcy has now returned to Abugi and its surrounding areas following the security intervention and meetings with community stakeholders. But the police have made it clear that the restoration of calm does not mean the investigation has ended. In fact, authorities are stressing that the search for those responsible will continue even as residents return to their normal activities. Commissioner of Police Naziru Kankarofi has also reaffirmed the command's commitment to protecting lives and property throughout Kogi State. He urged residents to remain law-abiding and provide information to security agencies whenever they observe suspicious movements or activities. This appeal to residents could prove crucial. In communities affected by violence, local information can help security agencies identify potential threats before they develop into attacks. But there is also a responsibility on security agencies to ensure that information provided by residents is handled professionally and that innocent people are not wrongly targeted. The bigger issue is what happens next. The immediate priority is to prevent another reprisal. The second is to establish accountability for the 5 deaths. And the third is to address the tensions that allow the situation to deteriorate in the first place. The police engagement with traditional rulers and community leaders suggests authorities understand that security operations alone may not be enough. Communities must also be involved in rebuilding trust and preventing further retaliation. Traditional leaders, local authorities, and security agencies all have a role to play in discouraging residents from taking the law into their own hands. If someone is killed, the answer cannot be another killing. That only creates another victim, another grieving family, and another reason for retaliation. The responsibility to determining guilt belongs to the justice system. For residents of Abugi and neighboring communities, the latest police intervention brings some relief. But the deaths of 5 people have already left a painful mark on the community. The investigation will now determine who was responsible and whether additional suspects can be identified and brought before the courts. The police have not indicated how many suspects have been arrested so far. That means the investigation remains at an active stage, with security personnel continuing to gather information and monitor the affected communities. The authorities will also need to ensure that the security presence remains sufficient to discourage fresh attacks once the immediate tension begins to disappear. History has shown that communal violence can return when security attention drops too quickly. That is why sustained monitoring and communication between security agencies and local communities will be essential. The Kogi State Police Command says it remains committed to ensuring that those responsible for the loss of lives are identified and brought to justice. The message from the authorities is clear. The return of calm in Abugi does not mean the case is closed. The investigation continues. Suspects will be pursued, and everyone found culpable is expected to face the law. The hope now is that the latest intervention will prevent further bloodshed and give community leaders the opportunity to address the grievances that have contributed to the conflict. Because restoring peace is not simply about stopping the next attack. It is about ensuring that one violent incident does not become the beginning of another cycle of revenge. If you found this report informative, share it with other people, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notification for more updates on security, crime, and major developments across Nigeria. I am Cassie Tony. Many thanks for watching.